When I arrived to Australia, I feel welcome. When I had to search for a job, it was very difficult for me.
This will be your LinkedIn profile.
I don't think as a person from a multicultural background, you expect to have the same experiences as you did before. But there are ways that hiring managers can make you feel like it's okay.
I got a call from one of the candidates who was really upset. She had a wonderful experience in the same space, but she could not make through the interview process. And that's when I felt there is something wrong.
There's a sense of disempowerment. This is the way it's always been, so this is the way we're going to do it.
And what we would really like people to do is think about that from a different point of view and consider what's possible.
Don't just post and pray on Seek as we so often do.
There is so much more that you can do than just that.
When we are talking about working with culturally and linguistically diverse communities, there are other avenues for sure.
I think people don't realise how much more complex, nuanced and useful it can be if we actually do that consultation with all of the different networks.
First of all, you can talk to talent acquisition.
And really spend some quality time up front doing that planning.
And saying, this is the role. How can I do a recruitment that is actually tailored to and unique and specific to this role that I'm hiring for?
We have a number of specialist service providers that we use. They are a wonderful and often untapped resource. They have access to a much larger pool of diverse talent.
The multicultural policy and engagement has very good connection and network within the communities.
The Refugee Employment Program is an amazing program. A lot of hiring managers just don't know that it exists. The Disability Network has a number of programs that we can link in with.
A specialist service provider can actually help on the ground because they're experts in that area.
My approach is still the old school approach, word of mouth.
Try to go and find those people where they are every day.
Non-government organisations, community groups, social groups, church groups.
Ethnic radios, for example. Social media is a good avenue to actually advertise those roles because that is where the community is.
Consider innovative things like holding an information session for that role.
That's where we started doing information sessions before the interview.
I was really happy to attend this information session because after this session I really understand that yes, I want to get this job. It's exactly what I want.
That gives people the opportunity to learn firsthand from the hiring manager about what that role looks like and feels like for them.
To be honest, I even can't imagine that it could be. Without the help, I think it would be really hard.
We've got to do a multi-prong approach if we want to get the right people to our agency.
Having a really diverse panel is actually quite significant.
I have interviewed several times. I have never had a diverse panel. Oh, no, I lie. Once.
If you create an environment that is culturally safe and welcoming for the applicant, what you're going to have are people who are at ease.
One of the recruitments I did recently, when interview finished, I was opening the door for her to leave and thanking her for coming. And while leaving, she just said it was thank you for sitting on the panel. It made me so much more comfortable.
Like all of a sudden I said, okay, this person can relate to me. She's a migrant.
To me, I really felt connected in a way because I could see myself in that position. God, I don't know why I get emotional, but trying to be seen as a person that is not just trying to fit in the remit or being pigeonholed into a system.
I think it's just smart to have a combination of people.
Making sure that it's as intersectional as it can be. That way we're going to get diversity in thought.
When I was invited to the last panel, I didn't have a technical expertise for the role, but I was invited because I had something else that I can bring to the interview process.
Diversity on panels is really important because it helps mitigate unconscious bias.
So we talk about unconscious biasness and we talk about doing your best to identify your biasness.
So whether we like it or not, we all have unconscious bias.
We all know, we all have them unconscious biasness. It's innate.
You really feel unconscious bias when you're in a room as a candidate.
And even being aware of it does not stop it from affecting your decisions.
If there's one particular group of individuals on a panel, then you are more likely to pick a candidate that reflects yourself.
You know, you walk out of this building and you don't just see one kind of person. You don't just see one culture. You don't hear just one language being spoken.
And it might seem like a bit of extra work, but if you take into account the cost and the time and the effort that's put in,
honestly, you might end up saving time.
it's really counterproductive not to take that extra step.
There are so many amazing candidates out there that come from all walks of life, and the way that we're recruiting now is excluding these people.